Hello, and welcome to the next module entitled The Construction Industry Sectors. In this module, we're going to learn about the private construction industry versus the public construction industry and show the differences between the two. The private sector is a lot larger than the public sector. Private sector represents about 3/4 of the work in the United States. We'll also talk about the breakdown by sectors: commercial, institutional, residential, heavy and highway, infrastructure, and what the breakdown is between all those sectors. And then we'll wrap up with a case study example of your construction sector choice, giving you an example of sticking to your knitting. Keep doing what you do best and try to keep improving on it and not venture out into other opportunities that could be disastrous. So keep doing what you're doing, and that will be the case study example. And I look forward to seeing you shortly in the next module, the construction industry sectors. Thank you. The construction industry is basically divided between privately funded and publicly funded construction. Now let's talk about the split between the two. Private industry is roughly 76%, and the public industry is about 24%. Now keep in mind, these percentages change every year. But basically, the private industry is about 3/4 of construction funded work in the United States, and public industry funding is about 1/4. But again, this varies from year to year. This is a breakdown by sectors, and we will talk about the different sectors now. First, residential, currently running about 31%, and that includes single-family houses, townhouses, condominiums, apartments, and it could include mid-rise and high-rise residential projects as well. Commercial building is about 28%, and that usually represents shopping centers, office buildings, and commercial type projects with tenants occupying office space. The other is about 35% for infrastructure, heavy and highway work. And as you can see from these numbers that do fluctuate, it's about 1/3 between residential, commercial, and infrastructure, heavy and highway, with a small percentage going to industrial. But again, this varies from year to year.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this free lesson from the University of Maryland's Project Management Center for Excellence. If you want to check out more lessons just like this one, click the link in the description below where you'll be able to go to our website on executive project management. There, you can find edX courses, professional short courses where you can learn from an instructor like me, as well as request custom team training for you and your organization. All right, let's get back to the lesson, and I'll see you at the end.
So, residential building is usually privately funded. That is, developers generally come into an area and fund the job. They build houses, they build developments with houses in them. Sometimes it's 1 unit, sometimes it's 100 units, and sometimes it's even more. But they're generally privately funded. Whereas commercial buildings, on the other hand, are usually a combination of privately funded and public funded, or all public funded, especially if it's on a government facility, a state facility, or a local government facility. Now, infrastructure, heavy and highway versus industrial. Let's talk about those two areas of construction. Infrastructure, heavy and highway. In particular, highways, subway systems, railways, bridges, those type of projects do vary from year to year. And currently in our federal government funding at this time, more money is being inputted into the infrastructure program. So we will see a lot more infrastructure work going on in the very near future. And much of the infrastructure in the United States and around the world needs attention. And that's what we're going to see over the next 2, 4, and 6 years. Heavy and highway is part of that infrastructure program. Industrial, on the other hand, are facilities such as automobile plants, which are growing, and other manufacturing plants around the country where projects are assembled and products assembled in factories. Now, I want to talk next about a case study entitled Your Construction Sector Choice. Your Construction Sector Choice. Very important. The management strategy I want to talk about is entitled Stick to Your Knitting. Stick to Your Knitting. Well, what does that mean? Well, first of all, it was popularized by Tom Peters in his book In Search of Excellence. A great book, In Search of Excellence. It's not really a book particularly about construction, so I recommend it to all of you, regardless of the industry that you're in. The key point is stay with the business you know. Concentrate in your business and build up that company in that industry that you're in. Thank you for participating in the Construction Industry Sectors module, where we learned about the private industry and the public industry breakdown, as well as the sector breakdown by commercial, residential, institutional, heavy and highway, and infrastructure work, and the breakdown by percentages of each of those sectors. In addition, we covered a case study of your construction sector choice and hope you got a good idea of whatever you're doing, stick to it and do it best and do it well and try to improve on it before venturing out into new areas of the construction industry. Just be careful if you do. And with that, I look forward to seeing you next in the next module entitled The Construction Industry Image and Profile. So I look forward to seeing you next in that module. Thank you.
Hey there, did you enjoy that lesson as much as I did? If you did, go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see another one, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Moreover, is there somebody in your life who really needs this lesson right now? If so, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next lesson where you can learn even more from the University of Maryland Project Management Center for Excellence. Thanks so much.